Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Monday morning SIG for June 8th. We have a good turnout here for the summer, and we're going to get started. We're going to start Kirk. He's a monitor, but he has a short video here that he brought in. So we're going to start with it. So if he gets called to duty. So you want to tell us about it?
Last cruise we took in March was 3 weeks long, so I'm breaking it up into like each individual section. This was a stop in Marseille, France, to a soap factory, or actually just a soap store. I thought it was kind of interesting. So this is about a 1 minute video that we put together for that. And I did add narration. I wasn't going to do that, but I went back and did that last night or yesterday.
Our cruise in 2026 included a port visit to Marseille, France. Our bus tour gave us some free time in downtown Marseille. We stopped in at the soap factory, or the La Savinière. The fragrances in here were incredible, but not overpowering. The green soap is from an ancestral recipe from 1906. It's cooked in large cauldrons, contains 72% olive oil. The rest is water, soda, and salt. It's a good facial and body soap. The white soap is also a 1906 recipe and is also cooked in large cauldrons. It's primarily made with vegetable oils and has no dyes or fragrances. It's good for general cleaning. This was a fun stop, and we picked up a variety of soaps to bring home.
Yeah. All right. So what'd you think?
Couldn't believe how many different kinds of soap, colors of soap that went all the way back in that store.
And a lot of favorite fragrances. So, my one question, I was wondering, before I put the narration in, I just had the text following the pictures of the two soaps. Those are the only two we bought. That's why I didn't take any other pictures of the other ones. But I was just wondering whether your thoughts on having the narration go over the text at the end.
Definitely narration.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
But does the text? I think the text was short enough that it didn't distract.
Just they reinforce one another. I think it's great.
That's great.
So how's the soap?
I'm not sure if I quite got it, but I thought at the beginning where you switched from the music and your voiceover came in, I thought it.
Our cruise in 2026 included a port visit to Marseille, France.
Maybe a little pause in the beginning instead of immediately starting with your narration. Just let maybe.
Sometimes you can have a gradual build.
Yeah.
Was there a fan in the ceiling?
Yeah, I saw that.
Because the lighting is in the very beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that.
Our cruise in 2026 included a port visit to Marseille, France. Our bus tour gave us some free time in downtown Marseille. We stopped in at the soap factory, or the La Savinière. The fragrances in here were incredible.
See, it's not doing it now.
Oh,
There it is. There it is.
Yeah, probably is fan.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Be shaky.
The green soap is from an ancestral recipe from 1906. It's cooked in large cauldrons, contains 72% olive oil. The rest is water, soda, and salt. It's a good facial and body soap. The white soap is also a 1906 recipe and is also cooked in large cauldrons. It's primarily made with vegetable oils and has no dyes or fragrances. It's good for general cleaning. This was a fun stop, and we picked up a variety of soaps to bring home.
Everything's written in a foreign language, though.
Our cruise in 2026 included a port.
That last part, I wanted to put their website up, but is that kind of distracting? No, I'm
No.
actually looking for it. We may change that up just a little to make it bother to see it.
Were you overwhelmed by the fragrances when you went in?
It wasn't that bad.
Huh.
Usually it does bother me. The only thing that bothered me is my wife and her friend took about 20 minutes and the
Looks like 350 euros.
250 euros, so about $4.
Yeah.
And of course, we took just carry-on luggage for this trip, so we were limited as to what we're bringing back, so we couldn't bring back like the whole sample box.
So do they actually make the soap right in that facility, or just, that's just?
They've got like 3 or 4 stores in Marseille, so I don't, their website doesn't say where they actually make it.
That'd be interesting to,
La Savinière means the soap factory. So it's this place where they make soap, so that's just their name. I'll have to see if I can find some other history.
might be able to find something online about that. And, you know, when you start talking about how they're mixing it and things like that, if you're able to show at least some static photos of it. So do you think, so what's everyone think about him having photography and the music here as opposed to maybe putting it on here? Well, instead of showing it there in with the image of the store, having it on here where it's just this, I don't know, just a thought.
It's a thought.
My criticism of it is it's, we want more.
Okay,
Yeah, no, I agree.
I wish I'd taken a lot more pictures of the soap in there, but I was ready for lunch. Come on, let's go.
You know, it's interesting you say that, Kirk, because many times when I'm doing my videos and I'm putting them together, I'm like, why didn't I take that picture? I need this picture or something like that. And it's more when you're doing the editing and putting the video together that you realize you're missing some shots that you would like to have to tell the story. All right. So, Sherry Lee, which one do you want to do first?
Let's get Harry McClary over with.
Okay.
Get it over.
Well, I'm sorry for saying it that way. I have issues with it, and I'm looking forward to kind of hearing if you catch the issues.
Okay.
You probably will, but see, now that I've said that, you're going to be looking for it. I didn't. Well,
We're always looking for issues.
It's story time with Lala. Today we're reading Harry McClary's Caterwall Caper by Lindley Dodd. With a twitch of his tail and a purposeful paw, down by the river crept Scarface Claw. He woke up a lizard, he startled a bee, and he bothered a blackbird high in the tree. Higher and higher he sneakily snuck, but up in the branches he suddenly stuck. He yowled. Harry McClary was eating his meal. Jelly meat, biscuits, a snippet of veal. All of a sudden he heard a strange sound, a yowling, a wailing that echoed around. Yep, 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 said Harry McClary, and off he went. Hercules Morse was asleep in a glade, with his tail in the sun and his head in the shade. Then came a sound that echoed around.
Woof,
said Hercules Morse, and off he went. Bottomley Potts was rolling about, his feet in the air and his tongue hanging out. Then came the sound that echoed around. Roar, 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 said Bottomley Potts, and off he went. Muffin McClay was having a bath in an old wooden tub, at the side of the path. Then came the sound that echoed around.
Ruff, ruff.
Said Muffin McClay, and off he went. Blitzer Maloney was having a scratch as he lay in the sun in the strawberry patch. Then came the sound that echoed around.
Wow, 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 wow.
Said Bitzer Maloney, and off he went. Schnitzel von Krumm was digging a hole in his favorite spot by the passion fruit pole. Then came the sound that echoed around. Said Schnitzel von Krumm, and off he went. Puffing and panting, impatient to see, together they came to the foot of the tree. They sniffed and they snuffled, they bustled around, and they saw what was making that terrible sound. Said Schnitzel von Krumm.
Bow, wow, wow, wow.
Said Bitzer Maloney.
Ruff, ruff.
Said Muffin McClay. Row, 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 row. Said Bottomley Potts.
Woof.
Said Hercules Morse. Yep, yep, yep. Said Harry McClary. And
Row, 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 row.
said Scarface Claw. The din was so awful that uphill and down, you could hear the cacophony all over town. Miss Plum brought a ladder and climbed up the tree. She rescued old Scarface. At last he was free. With a flick of the tail and a shake of each paw, off at a gallop went Scarface Claw. And back to their business and Donaldson's dairy went all of the others with Harry McClary.
That was great.
How are you?
Yeah, great sound effects. So what'd you think?
Make the changes, for the critters, but when I bought a little mic so that I could have it connected to my phone to record, and so I didn't have the normal protections that I use when I'm recording. So I did close the blinds and on the window, and I closed the door so it wouldn't get outside noise, but then there were things that I needed to edit out, I was thinking that, or whatever, the breaths, and because I had to separate it from the video, I wasn't thinking about that. So then I had to try and match the video up, and then I had to cut it up to match my talking, and it didn't match where I needed to. Anyway, it was. I probably should have just re-recorded it, but I didn't. I was too far into, cutting everything. So apparently, did you guys see when I was talking where suddenly it just,
They were hard.
they were hard cuts and they were not spaced well. But I also figured my grandkids won't know.
Exactly, for your audience, it really isn't gonna matter that much.
Yeah.
So what else, other than that, I thought it was great. What wrong with it? Nothing.
Exactly.
Actually, the only thing that bothered me a little bit, not a big deal, is you had the book and it was kind of coming into.
Yeah, that bothered me too.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me, it did, it was noticeable, but then it wasn't so much that it was, okay, she's reading the book. It really gives it context. We were reading the book too, but it's like, okay, it puts you right in the scene.
At first I didn't know what it was. Then I.
So,
Yeah.
one of the things is that, you had the inset of you reading, which I think is important for the grandkids.
Yeah.
But when I do a voiceover, it's just a voice, no video. So the cuts aren't as apparent.
Yeah. Well, and that's how I did my books before, is I didn't have me in it. but then the grandkids were saying, well, we want to see you.
Yeah, you being in there was perfect, and it really added a lot to the whole video.
And I didn't really notice the transitions, but if it bothers you, you could do a fade or something like that.
Well, I tried, and because they're so mismatched, it looked even
It
weirder.
looked fine.
So I just thought, I put in, plenty of time for the grandkids on this one, but I did want to just kind of hear if some of you saw, some of the stuff or read
From a little really nitpicking point, there's this great scene where you're talking about the cat leaving.
Yeah.
And then it slowly goes across, and then it stops as you do the next. I would just have it completely
Just keep moving.
going completely going, yeah, until you do the transition.
And I tell the artist, put a scar face.
Yeah, I know.
That didn't fit.
Yeah.
Has nothing to do with you.
I think one of the other things I would consider is, when you have your image on there, either maybe doing a background blur on it or something, or maybe putting it in like an oval shape instead of just the square, like from a photo.
Okay, I'm gonna have to find out how I can do an oval shape.
Is that an insert from Da Vinci?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that'll be fun to find.
Yeah.
I definitely
I
like
can
it.
look
So
and-
I just did a blur on the edges.
Yeah.
I looked at the frame, on it, but I thought the blur looked better than the frame.
Mhm.
But I haven't found the one yet to be able to do.
I'll look for it and let you know where it is.
Well, the kids are gonna love it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was fun. And
No, Todd. I'm interested too.
okay.
Thank you.
All right. Yep. Yeah. All right. Paul,
Yeah.
tell us about your video.
It's a guy, probably the best character in Green Valley. His name is Justin Lovelace. And he lives in Desert Homes 3. And he makes whirly gigs. You ever heard of him or seen
Well, you did one video about it before, didn't you?
him? Yeah, I showed you, I think, in what do you call it?
Showtime.
Showtime.
Yeah.
A long version.
Mm-hmm.
This is him, and he is a true character out of Hills in Tennessee. Brilliant guy, but you wouldn't ever know it because of the way he is. He's a hillbilly, but he's sharp. He had a fuel business in Tucson, and I think he did really well. Hell of a golfer, just a funny guy, great to visit with.
Mhm.
And so this is about him.
Okay, great.
His wife died, so she's in it, but she died too.
Well, anyway, the way they made them in the old days, they had this little hook here, and it just beat it up so bad that this would wear out or this would break. And that's where I came up with, well, even before I got that one. See how it hits hard and comes back up? I figured if I use gears, it'll make the bump a lot less hard. Well, I'm originally from Tennessee, and I joined the Air Force right after high school, and I enjoyed to travel and come out here in Arizona, and I really liked it. So I pretty well stayed. And it's a lot worse places than here, I'll tell you that. A toy, like a teddy bear that she bought somewhere, and I decided to use the movements out of it to make that work. So I thought I'd make something of it. So I came up with this idea. That's the keepers of the garden. He gave me a fire pit that he was going to throw away, so I used the fire pit for the center, and I just kind of used my imagination for the pedals. So I put a bearing on the back of them and cut them up to where they're in even segments and weight them accordingly, and they just seem to spin all day long.
Go ahead.
Well, in Tucson, I lived there 30 years. I had a steel company, and I did a little bit of this stuff, probably 30, 40 years ago. But I was a working man, so I can't give up my work, so I didn't do much of it until I retired. And once I retired, I started doing it almost every day, just to keep me out of trouble, keep me out of the house. Really, that's true. All in there. Yeah, it'll turn all the time.
Go ahead.
All right, this is a tailgate off of the 1968 Chevy that I tore apart and put part of it for the seat and part of it for the backing. And it came out real good. The grill I found up at White Elephant, and I used that, but it's out of a 68 GMC. But people don't seem to know that, so I don't tell them too much. All right, this is a horse that I built. I saw one over in New Mexico years ago, and I felt like I could build it. So when I retired, I tried it, and this is what ended up right here. It don't look too bad.
I was going to ask you, is where do these thoughts come from?
Well, now this one come off the internet.
Okay.
And you know, the tail, I was curious about that, but they say back in the day, years, millions, that he was a fish eater. And he used that tail for a rudder. You believe that?
Yep, I do. Through here, a big question I have is I'm trying to find kind of the essence of creativity. I see lots of things created here, but I wonder just how this man's mind works. When he wakes up in the morning, does he have a flash or a vision of something? Or does he just start working on something? He's got some parts out there put together, and it just kind of grows.
No, I know what you're saying. What you're thinking is, this guy needs to get a life.
No.
We found these chairs, this one in front of somebody's house where they wanted to recycle, just give it to the trash men, and ran down there and grabbed them. And
Now I use gears back here. I don't know where I got them, somewhere, but they run a lot smoother than the old whirligigs that you see that hit real hard. So I try to use gears, and they last a long time. I get these heavier gears out of an old pasta maker. I buy a pasta maker for $10 or $12 and tear it apart just for the gears. But I can't find the steel ones, and if you could, you can't afford them. Seal bearings in just about everything you see turn around here, and they're sealed so they'll last forever. That's for the small stuff now. For the big stuff, I'll be using these right here, because I got some pieces out here that are pretty heavy, at least 100 pounds or more. Well, it's just a bunch of chickens pecking in the, I guess that's seed, I guess. And once this gets going real fast, it just goes too fast, and I have to turn this to stop the wind from hitting it.
They even painted little food on here for the birds. This makes them peck. Really cute.
Let's see. I'm here in Desert Homes 3, looking at all the fascinating metal sculptures and paintings. And you should come take a look sometime when you have a chance. It's a
We
Desert
just gotta
Homes.
get everybody over here to see this, don't we?
Yes, everyone come here because you're really missing something.
And it's free. Free to observe.
Any other stories to tell me?
Oh yeah, we got a bunch of them, but they'd just probably be lies.
Like that bench that's at Desert Meadows that has the same tailgate.
I know he made some things that are over there. I mean, he's always working on some.
Sure.
I thought some of your transitions went too fast. It just seemed like it disrupted the whole story, at least for me.
Enjoyed all of his fun transitions.
Makes the world go round.
I thought it really worked, with the exception of your sound mix, pretty bad. Sound mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The audio.
What a delightful story.
Yeah.
The guy is just, he is a genius. I mean, it's so creative. It's unbelievable.
So you're referring to when the gentleman was talking?
When you use your natural sound, the levels were
all over.
All over.
Yeah. Maybe you could go back in and look at that to try to adjust them some to.
I think too loud, too soft, too loud.
Too loud.
Yeah.
Generally.
Really?
But the idea of having this guy, you reflected his personality so well.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You get the idea that the guy's nuts, you know. But in a good one.
Does he sell his stuff that he makes?
I think he does.
Hmm.
I'm not sure what he's doing right now, but he's been doing this for at least 10, 15 years.
Wow.
There were a couple times also that you started with an image and then you were kind of zooming in a little bit.
Yeah.
And it would jump. I would probably go back and just start with, the image that you want it to be and not do the zoom part, because the zooms matter of maybe a second or so.
All right. Great, well, wait.
Yep.
Good job.
Great story and everything. Anything else? All right. Thank you.
Makes you wonderful, see, yeah.
It does, I know.
Phil, tell us about your video.
It's just a little thing I did, but I was up in northern Arizona trying to do a story on the fires last year. I was up there during the fires and I thought I would see what was left of the north rim, and there's not much left. But and I'll do that later. This is just a quickie on Lee's Ferry.
Is everyone familiar with Lee's Ferry?
We opened the North Rim, haven't they?
It's open and you'll see it when I finally put it together, but there's nothing to see. John D. Lee came to this lonely place on the Colorado River in 1870. He was on the run. He had taken part in the Mountain Meadows Massacre, an attack by Mormons and a few Indians on a non-Mormon wagon train that was simply heading west. They killed 120 women, men, and children who were simply innocent travelers. He was wanted by the law, and he thought this isolated place on the Colorado would provide him with safety. It did. He arrived here with 2 of his wives and his children. He would establish a ferry crossing that would last for 50 years. Stringing a cable across the mighty Colorado, he would ferry passengers, wagons, and eventually cars across the treacherous water. Working from these stone cabins, he established a settlement which he called Lonely Dell. Today, this is the official starting point for the thousands of rafters that over the years have begun the journey downriver through the Grand Canyon. So, what happened to John D. Lee? He would eventually serve in the Utah Territorial Legislature and as a federal Indian agent. However, his past sins finally caught up with him. He was excommunicated from the Mormon Church and then tried and executed by firing squad at the site of the Mountain Meadows Massacre. The last picture of John shows him sitting on his own coffin. However, he had 19 wives and 56 children. In modern times, his descendants have served as United States senators, members of the House of Representatives, and as a Secretary of the Interior. In 1961, he was posthumously reinstated in the Mormon Church. At Lee's Ferry, all that remains of John's legacy are a few stone walls and his name on a place that has been visited by thousands of tourists excited about a new adventure through the Grand Canyon.
What'd you think?
And I like your new light gate logo at the beginning.
With the train.
Yeah, no, that's
We hadn't seen it before.
That narration was really well done.
Yeah.
Well, you guys.
That's because he has all that good professional equipment.
Yeah, that's it.
I noticed was right after your light gate thing, and then you had the Lee's Ferry sign with the background, and there was no shadowing, it was kind of hard to read the Lee's Ferry.
You're talking about the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually did drop shadow, all kinds of things, but there was something about the original footage that wouldn't allow it to work in chroma key. In key, I don't know, I know exactly what it says. Yeah, this is an old open, I did this long time ago. Yeah, I thought so too. You notice where it says copyright, that's supposed to be the circle C, and it ended up as a dot, and I just couldn't get it. The keyer would not, I didn't want to use the good keyer, so I should have.
Anyway, that was,
So you just,
you that.
you thought it was hard to read here?
Yeah.
Well, the word fairy kind of
Yeah.
saw. I agree, but that's very valid.
Could you just lower that a little bit so that the ferry isn't in the clouds? Doesn't look very good.
But I tried drop shadows, all kinds of stuff. There's just something about that original footage
It wouldn't work.
that it's at its levels. I don't know,
Yeah.
I don't know why.
So what were you using to shoot this?
GoPro
Your GoPro on the hood?
Yeah, on the hood. I never shoot through the glass.
No, doesn't work.
Suction cups.
Yep, suction cups. Especially on Fords, because the magnets don't work.
They don't?
No.
Well, because of the aluminum?
Yep. Yeah.
I have a Ford and I never had a problem with it.
No, I had the suction cup, and then when I got my new GoPro, I'm like, oh, maybe I'll just go for the magnet, because I forget who here was using a magnet and how strong it was and everything, and I got it, and of course
I use the magnet on my Ford all the time.
Magnet?
Yeah. Oh yeah, those big ones.
Yeah.
Oh, it works great. I mean, it's hard. The biggest problem is getting it off.
Yeah. Well, I couldn't get the magnet to stick at all on mine.
Well, aluminum.
If it's aluminum body.
Yeah, it's aluminum body. Right. Right.
Huh.
What you might be able to do is put some metal.
The suction cup works fine. I mean, I ended up driving down Interstate 19 to Nogales and going 70 miles an hour. It was fine. I still have a string around it and everything in case something would let go, that it's not going to.
In case.
Yep.
Those suction cups, I've used them on Cessnas.
Oh, wow.
And thinking, well, I'm going to lose the camera anyway. Never came off.
Well, we may be losing GoPro. They are financially
they're
underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, with all the new competition and
well, they bought some stuff they shouldn't have. Got themselves into some financial trouble.
I wanted to ask a question about the GoPro. When it's on your car and you're on a bumpy road, it smooths out, right?
Well, you can do two things. In post, you can smooth it out, or you can have GoPro actually has it has a stabilization in it, which I usually have turned on.
So stabilization, they just started doing that in what model? I think 11.
That's 9.
They have it on 9 stabilization.
I've got them running 12s and they're there.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But they didn't have it in the beginning because my 4 doesn't have it.
No, they didn't. No.
So you'd have to research, Paul, which one to make sure that they have it built in, because it's a good feature, especially if you're on bumpy roads.
So who's GoPro biggest competition now then?
What's that?
Isn't it DJI?
The 360 cameras are now the big competition. You see more and more YouTube content creators using those 360 cameras.
Isn't that what Royce has?
And the camera Royce has, yeah. The biggest problem with those is takes in too much.
Yeah.
All right. So we have another one here from Sherry Lee.
Well, 6 minutes, I think that's short, but I mean, that's short. And it was the very beginning of our trip in New Zealand when I was visiting my cousin. Our New Zealand adventure began with something far more meaningful than sightseeing, reuniting with my beautiful cousin Carrie. 40 years had passed since we had last seen each other, making this first stop especially memorable. After arriving in Auckland, we boarded a bus to Tauranga, where Carrie was waiting to greet us. From there, we traveled to her home in Mount Manganui, and it immediately felt like we were among family. It was a joy to meet her handsome son Chase, their sweet dog, and to finally see the life she has built on the other side of the world. That evening, we were welcomed with a traditional Kiwi barbecue shared by Carrie's close friend Caroline and several of Chase's friends. Laughter, conversation, and good food made us feel at home from the very start.
So
So a mono competition is different than a cannonball competition because you have to lie back with your back. New technology that measures how big the splash is with a mono. And so that's something that they've just instituted off of like the waterfront in Taronga. So.
The next day, Carrie and Caroline treated us to another New Zealand favorite, a picnic on the beach, featuring fresh fish and chips. Enjoying such a simple meal with our toes in the sand and the ocean nearby felt wonderfully authentic and delicious. Caroline's hospitality continued as she hosted us in her charming Airbnb, perfectly located within walking distance of both downtown Mount Maunganui and the beach. We enjoyed exploring local cafes and eateries, sampling the flavors of the area. I spent time discovering nearby walking trails, while Fred was perfectly content people watching from one of the many outdoor coffee shops. Carrie would join us after work and we would share a simple meal while catching up on 4 decades of life and memories. One of the highlights of our stay came courtesy of Caroline, who arranged a private flight with her friend Greg. What an unforgettable experience!
Our exit row is here to our
Behind
left.
us.
Okay, behind you. All right.
Is it
Count
to my
the row
right
of
or left?
seats. Count the row of seats. To you, it'll be on.
We soared above the stunning coastline, taking in breathtaking views of the Coromandel Peninsula. Then circling back to Taronga. Seeing New Zealand's beauty from the air was a privilege we won't soon forget. All too quickly, our time together came to an end. We shared one final meal with my beloved cousin before saying goodbye. After 40 years apart, it was as though no time had passed at all. We left with full hearts, wonderful memories, and the hope that it won't be nearly as long before we meet again.
What would you think?
Right, man.
There was one photograph we're in the very bottom, somewhere in the middle. You won't, it was half of a photograph, you were walking down a trail and it was half of you and it was just very.
Yeah,
Other than that, I loved everything. I mean, it was a very distracting image.
I saw that too.
I combined it.
Yeah.
I
Well, just half of your.
Right
There it is.
That's it.
I was in a different place on it and I didn't have the,
I just take the
just the
inside out.
titles. Well, I wanted to show that I was there. And I needed to line the path up to the other path. Yeah, you know, if I would have had that whole tree thing cut off and moved it over, but then you lose the view. I played with a couple different things and
I just decided to let it be. To know that you were there, you were taking the photograph.
We saw you all.
We've seen you all the time, so it's not that critical, but it's a great shot without you in it.
Thank you, Daryl.
Thank you.
I thought one of the other things, and this just may be how I like to do it, but when I'm doing the drop shadow, I make sure the settings are the same for each of them, and yours seem varied.
No, I did them all the same settings.
You did?
Yeah, there were just a couple times I changed the color, but I was very diligent to make sure that the settings were the same on all.
Some of them seemed the gap was further. Well, that's possible.
Yeah, down the settings and I went through all
Each one.
the time to line up the settings.
Yeah, I thought there was one back in the beginning that.
Some very beautiful spots.
I like her giving you the emergency exit instruction.
Yeah, that was great.
So she used to live here and.
Yeah, she lived in, she was born in Idaho and her and her sister, and then her dad died and her mom and the girls moved down to the San Luis Obispo area in California. And then she got a job in LA in the film industry and she got an opportunity to go, they wanted her in New Zealand. So she moved to New Zealand. And then she met a guy and got married and had a son. And so she stayed, but she said she wasn't making near the money that she could make in LA. And, but now that she had a son there, she couldn't leave. Well, then he went and had an affair. And so now they just separated. So it was really, the timing was perfect to get there because that all had just come up in the past year. So getting to have family show up, you know.
Yeah.
And getting to, you know, have that connection, just, it meant a lot to both of us, but I didn't know what was going on with her, you know, and so when she just grabbed onto me, it was just like, family. You know?
So she's been there 40 years?
No, she was just, I was in my, she was just a teenager when I saw her last. I hadn't met her as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't want to tell her full story.
On here, no.
Nice job. Nice job. Of one other video, it's one that I did. It's kind of, I was motivated to do this for two reasons. One, our country's 250th anniversary, and the fact that I did a day trip into to Philadelphia when I was on my way to Europe this past November. As we approach the 250th anniversary of our country, there's no better place to pause than Old City, Philadelphia. Walk with me through one day we spent in the birthplace of America, where every cobblestone and brick seems to hold a story. We began at the Independence Visitor Center, a
calm hub of maps, friendly faces, and practical advice, it's a perfect place to start. Watch the short film, pick up brochures, and let the volunteers point you towards the best Philly cheesesteak in town. A few steps away stands the Liberty Bell, quiet and solemn. Its crack, a reminder that freedom is both fragile and enduring. Across the square, Independence Hall rises with a dignity that feels almost personal. This is the room where the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were debated and signed. Imagine the voices, the long nights, the arguments and compromises that shaped a new experiment in self-government. Standing there, you feel the weight of their decisions that changed the world. We wandered through the Museum of the American Revolution, a place dense with detail and devotion. We did not have enough time to linger as long as the exhibits deserve, but we found one quiet marvel, George Washington's tent from Valley Forge. To see the very shelter where commanders slept during the darkest winter of the war is to feel history as a human being, not an abstract idea. If you love history, plan to spend a full day here and let the stories unfold. Old City itself is an exhibit. The 18th century row houses, the narrow alleys. Walk Elthworth's Alley, the oldest continuously inhabited street in the United States. 32 Georgian and federal houses line the cobblestone path. Each doorway, a small testament to ordinary lives lived across centuries. The alley is quiet, intimate, and impossible to rush. Carpenter's Hall stands nearby. Built in the 1770s as a meeting place for the First Continental Congress. It's modest in scale, but vast in significance. Imagine delegates gathering there, maps and letters spread across tables, the future of 13 colonies debated in measured voices. We paused at the Betsy Ross House, where the legend of the first American flag lives in the fabric of the building. Whether every detail of the story is exact matters less than the way the house connects to the craft and the courage of ordinary people who stitched a symbol into being. Franklin's Court offers a different kind of memory. Benjamin Franklin's handsome brick home once stood here. The house is gone, but a steel ghost structure outlines its footprint, a modern silhouette that frames the past. Inside the complex, a working reproduction of an 18th century printing press office hums with activity. The smell of ink, the clack of type, the small, stubborn machinery of communication remind you that ideas travel on simple tools and persistent hands. There's even an operating post office that echoes Franklin's role as a communicator and innovator. As the day moved on, the city shifted from solemn to familiar. We found a corner eatery, tasted a cheesesteak recommended at the visitor center, and watched tourists and locals pass each other with the easy courtesy of people who share a place. What stays with you after a day in Old City is not a single monument or a single fact. It's the texture of the place, the way cobblestones feel underfoot, the hush inside Independence Hall, the small human details that make history feel immediate. These are the moments that connect us to the past. In a few days, the nation will celebrate a milestone. For now, on this ordinary day in Old City, Philadelphia, we listened, we learned, and we remembered. Cheers to the United States of America, to 250 years of independence, resilience, and the enduring promise of a nation built on the bold idea that people can govern themselves. May this grand experiment in democracy, forged in courage and defended through sacrifice, continue to thrive for centuries to come. And may we always strive to live up to the ideas that launched it: liberty, justice, and a future shaped by we, the people.
You think?
I like the end where it said Google. And your last one was Google.
I think that's all. It was very well done, Todd, and your narration was great.
Thank you.
And the videos were all wonderful. I think, and the music, everything. Other than that,
I'd like to know how you had the flag, but it was just all the little squares around.
I got that off of Pixabay.
Wow. And then the same with the stars.
Mm-hmm.
And then how did you have it on one of them? The stars were actually like a border and they were kind of coming over in the front. And then the next one, they were just in back.
Well, I cut the frame and then I did a Gaussian blur to it.
Oh, really cool. And you got those from Pixabay?
Yeah. Lots of stuff on Pixabay. Just ask Diane. Anything else?
I just like the way you themed it with the texture of the city. And all the images had that kind of feel to them. You know, they're I don't know exactly how to describe it. They weren't sharp, biting images. They had texture to it. And so that just kind of flowed really well in my mind.
We actually did a couple hour walking tour. You saw that in Elstrus, the guy who was leading the tour, I recorded a lot of his talk, but when I went back and listened to it, it was just too annoying to me because he was too many and-ums and just, and I was like, you need to go to
Elocution school.
something, yes. Yeah, Toastmasters to learn how to speak to people and everything. Yeah, Joe.
I liked a lot of what you had there, Todd. The narration and the story, especially at the beginning. You took me into the room, you panned that room. There was so much I liked about it. I will say that you have shots of either the same sign twice or two signs that look like historic, the steel markers.
Yes.
But I never could read either of them at all.
It was too fast.
Well, I don't think you were shooting up at one.
Yeah.
And I don't know if we were supposed to read that or not, but I don't think that either one of them contribute. And I think that the images you had were probably good enough that you could just lose those two clips.
Without that.
What were you trying to show a message? Was there a message that we were to read?
Well, I pretty much was paraphrasing what those boards were saying in my narration and everything.
If you said what the signs were,
yeah,
and your narration is better than the signs.
Part of like the first one was I think the one on Betsy Ross, and we were kind of talking about this before we started our program today, that after I did that, I noticed that was pretty much my footage. I walked up in front of it and I got that plaque, and then we were off, where if I'd go back and do it, I'd stop so I could pan the whole house and the whole area, or even walk towards the house and get it in. But I didn't have that footage. The only thing I had was that piece of panning up and showing, tilting up and showing the sign. And then the same was kind of on Elstrus Alley and everything. So I could look at that.
What city?
Pittsburgh.
So how often did you get to
Never.
Independence Hall? Really?
This is my first time.
No school trips or anything?
Nope. Wow. We didn't go to the eastern part. Those are those people.
From Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah, well, it's 450 miles.
Yeah, it's clear across the state.
Yeah. Pennsylvania is weird.
You traveled from Cleveland to New York when I was in graduate school, it's a long stay.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
It's a long state, and interestingly enough, and this is just, I guess, the human nature and everything, you know, the Appalachian Mountains traverse the state of Pennsylvania, and the people on the east side of the state don't really consider the people on the west side of the state part of the state. And originally it wasn't. It was only after, you know, Congress that bought more land or stole more land from the Indians, that the western part, I mean, what's that, stolen land? Yes. You know, but the western part of the state really associates more with the Midwest than the East Coast. And even like with my business, and when we would have conventions, we would get all kind of people coming to the Philadelphia area or the east part of the state. We get, you know, several hundred people. When we'd hold it in Pittsburgh, we might get 150. They're like all the way over there, you know. So you just,
It is a long ways.
yeah, 450 miles.
I've always said driving through Pennsylvania, they should make that into 2 states.
You could say that probably about a lot of places. And that's, and even though it isn't geographically done that way, mentally it is. Yeah. But thank you for the comments. I appreciate that.
So did you write your script first?
Yeah. Yep. I write the script first, then I do put it into Chat GPT, let it, you know, fluff it up a little.
You tell them a time that you wanted to.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yep. You know, and then after they give that back to me, then I go back in and I'll even make changes to it.
So how many minutes was it, your video?
It was a very long video for me, 6 minutes.
Boy, that was a soul dig.
No dig intended, it's fine. Most of mine I try to keep under 5 minutes, but it just, there was enough of a story there. Pardon me?
Video, you do a nice 15 to 20 minutes, which is travel a lot more.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I do everything. So, well, thank you very much. Thanks for all the comments and participation in the videos. They are greatly appreciated. If you saw Kevin's note,
He's not coming back.
I'm gone for the next few weeks.
Coming back.
Yeah, he's never coming back. And so there is a need, if there's someone else willing to step up next week to, and it's not a recorded version, but it, you know, be to play videos or things like that. So, but if anyone is ready, willing, and able to do that, let Kevin know and he'll send out the information. Otherwise, it probably won't be one next week. And I think Kevin said he expects to be here back in 2 weeks and everything. So
But you won't be here next week?
I'll be gone for the next 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
He's canoeing it.
I'm going back. Yeah, I'm a little concerned with all the weather reports I'm seeing right now because there's a lot of flooding going on back in the Midwest. And
Did you buy your new canoe yet?
I'm not buying a canoe. No, I did a time value of money and the fact that these canoes last, 25, 30 years and I'm not. So I'm just going to rent them.
You'll rent one.
Yeah, I'll just rent one.
You still working at Bass Pro?
Yes, still a Bass Pro. Yep, they're still working me, part-time, 35 hours a week.
When you come back, are you gonna still be working there?
I don't know. We'll see if they let me. It'll be interesting.
Taking an unauthorized vacation.
Well, it's unpaid, but their policy is 2 weeks. I did modify it a little bit. But when Sally and I go to Europe in August, we're gone for 3 weeks. So we will see.
So do they have can you be eligible for vacations?
No. Their business model is there's probably only 10 full-time people in the whole store and everyone else is part-time.